healing that he had to. And so I said, whatever it may be. But then it came to where when I was talking to Taryn, and she told me about the little chapel, and she told me about the miracles and the healings, and she told me, Sarah, about your story. And I thought, that is so amazing. And I thought, I'm going to go. I don't know what will happen. And for nothing else, it'll just grow my faith in watching others get healed. And so I remember sitting here almost a year ago. And I remember sitting right back there. And I was wearing a red dress, so I felt appropriate to wear red again, because it must be a good luck color. And it's God's love, maybe. But I sat there, and she was doing her healings. And she called out and said, is there anyone that was having, she had issues with the brain? And I raised my hand, and I will tell you, there's moments where I was like, do I raise my hand? But then it was, raise your hand. If God is here, raise your hand and do this. So I raised my hand, and there was other people in the room, and she called upon me, and she said, there's a woman in red in the back. And she started to pray, and she started to call out the miracle and the healing. And while the healings had been going on, in my head I had been saying, and I'm speaking truth, I had said, really? Is this really happening? Really? As the healings were going on? Because you sit there and you say, could this really be possible? Even though I have so much faith in my heart for God, there's just that small doubt. I felt like doubting Thomas. But the amazing thing was, is Sarah actually said, and over your head is the word really right now. And I was like, and then I felt bad. I was like, God, I am so sorry. And it was like him and I having a conversation at that moment. I thought, God, I am so sorry I'm down. Yes, really, this is really happening. You are really here. He was reading my mind. And like Sarah said, God gives everyone blessings. He has absolutely given Sarah this blessing to heal and work through her. If she could heal everyone, I know she would. But it just has to be at the right time, for whatever reason, who is called at that moment. And so for whatever reason, the greatest gift was given to me because she prayed and a healing happened. And so this warm feeling came over my head, not the rest of my body, but my head, an intense feeling of warmth. And I didn't know what was happening. And then at the end of it, we prayed, and tears are coming down. And so she had said, and Yvonne had said, go to the doctor, get an MRI, because it's not there anymore. But for you to know. And I didn't right away. Life is busy. I didn't get a chance to go to the doctor, but then I had to go for a follow-up just a couple months ago. And I went for my follow-up, and this neurologist here in Arizona, who's not my primary neurologist, said to me, I just want you to know that we went over reports, and there was no sign of a blood clot in your brain. And I said to her, thank you, Jesus. But I said to her, she must have thought I was crazy, because I looked at her and I wanted to just grab her, and I said, do you understand the severity of these words right now? I said, I have lived with this blood clot for 13 years. There's scar tissue all around this clot in my vertebral artery. They said it cannot go away. Scar tissue just doesn't fall away, just doesn't go away. You always have a scar. Well, for some reason, we know what reason. But I said, the severity of this, because without this blood clot, maybe there's a chance I could have a child. Then I don't have to worry about if this clot's going to disperse and I could die at any moment. Really, so many doors open up because this blood clot is gone. And I looked at her and I said, God provides miracles. And he did this a year ago. And I think she kind of looked at me. And I didn't go into any further conversation with her. But I got in the car and started crying and thanking Jesus and thanking him because my clot is gone. And it could have only happened through the miracle and the power of his presence and his healings. And it happened here at this little chapel. And I am so honored to be able to share this testimony because please don't have doubt that miracles happen. Please believe. And that miracles happen. And it's set up. Jesus sets this up, and